And Mr. Bennet, he is single! Oh! Oh, what a conquest for our daughter, sir! Oh, if only you called on him fast. Mr. Bennet!
How could it possibly affect you, my dear?
It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife, Papa.
Oh, yes! Oh, friend is, well, her mother is a shameless fortune hunter, Jane, and she shall snap him up in a trice. If you do not go.
Mr. Bingley may have any girl he chooses. I'll throw in a good word for Lizzie.
Thank you, Papa.
Lizzie isn't a bit better than the others. Not so as handsome as Jane, or as good-humored as Lydia.
And you, Mama.
Oh, but you'll always have your favorites, sir.
Oh!
And not so, tall as Mary. Oh.
They have none of them much to recommend, my dear.
And we never shall be rid of them, Mr. Bennet, if you do not visit even one very promising gentleman who's practically fallen into our laps. Oh, stop that, Mary!
I do not cough for my own amusement.
You'll wreck my nerves, dear, please. Fine. You have no concern for my nerves, sir. That may at any moment snap and fell me like a wound.
My dear, have high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends. I've been acquainted with them for 20 years at least.
Oh. Do not blame your father, girls, after he drops dead.
I say.
Without providing for your future. For as you know, this estate is entailed away from us after he dies. And when you are all left, penniless old maids, begging on the street for your bread, it will be then too late to cry. Oh dear, oh. No tears, my dear. Your father doesn't think it's his best. And Madam,
Not resolved on penny-earing death quite yet, my dear. Just live long enough for me to introduce you to Mr. Bingley.
Pa,
I met the gentleman yesterday.
is he a policeman? Is he handsome?
Is he a scholar? Does he play?
I can testify to nothing, but that he has 2 eyes, 1 mouth, presumably 2 of everything that ought to be in pairs, and 1 of everything single. That he brings in £5,000 a year, and he shall be attending the Longs Ball on Tuesday.
I love balls!
5,000 a year? Oh, Mr. Bennet! Mr. Bennet.
No. I hope you have bought a moment's peace. Now, Mary, cough as much as you choose.
Lydia, my love, though you are the youngest, I dare say Mr. Bingley shall dance with you first. Though you need new slippers, dear. Oh, Mr. Bennet! Mr. Bennet!
I'm not afraid, for though I am the youngest, I'm the stoutest.
A rich bachelor in the neighborhood, Jane. Whatever shall you do to get him in your clutches?
Me, Lizzie, why not you?
Me? Why, I am a sharp-tongued, awkward little creature. No, but you're good and kind and about 5 times prettier than any other girl in the county. No, you shall have to fall on Mr. Bingley's sword. Be quick about it, too. The clock is ticking for us, old maids.
Then why shouldn't I catch him?
Or me! Lydia, you are much too young to be thinking of such things. And Mary, you...
Lizzie is talking a lot of nonsense, girls, as usual.
Yes, we are only joking.
Why should you pretend to love and marriage and all this is a joke? It seems very serious to me.
That's because you are far away from it. When you're closer to the prospect, it is all much too frightening, and you must laugh so you do not cry. Playing games keeps one sane when the stakes threaten to drive one mad.
Stop filling her head with foolishness. It is not a game, Lydia.
Isn't it? There are rules, strategies, wins, losses, and it is theoretically done for pleasure.
How do you know that you found the right match?
Well, I shouldn't tell you, but You know you found the right match when
Yes.
a lightning bolt shoots down from the sky and fries you like an egg. No, you probably think you found your perfect match just after your mama has called on his bankers and your papa has finished counting his rich, sickly relatives. These things are all arranged above one's head, Lydia.
Oh, it's complicated, dear. But I imagine you know you've met the right person when, well, at first there was a liking. Then you behave appropriately, of course. Then there's perfect knowledge between two souls, wordless and faultless.
Oh, now we're spinning ahead with nonsense. What novels have you been reading?
Well, what do you really think it is, Elizabeth?
I have no desire to find out. One of you shall have to marry to save the family from ruin, or none of it.
No, you don't mean that.
I know myself, Jane. I shall never marry, for the state is fundamentally flawed, as far as I can see. It is all too much. I will, however, make a lovely maiden aunt, so do hurry and make the necessary arrangements with this Mr. Bingley.
Oh, come, girls! Come, come, come! Oh! Oh, we're lying, girls! We're lying! Attention! Now, that's straight. No man likes a hunchback, and it does not display you to advance the Oh, my! Mary, what are you doing? Maybe step back a bit, dear.
Dress itches!
Smiles! Smiles, girls! You try to look agreeable. Oh, and Lizzie. Lizzie, this is your last chance, dear. Now, with you on full parade, I shall act as vanguard. Oh, you! Mrs. Long! How's your boy with the scapula? And is he here tonight?
I spy a red coat! Lydia, don't say about the pie! Lydia! How can you laugh?
What else is there to do?
Charlotte! Jane! Lizzie!
Mary.
Mama insisted I join the line immediately and not give up any more buttons to you shameless men.
I spy.
I spy. Haven't you been engaged for any dances? There is a deplorable lack of gentlemen. I spy. Nobody wants them. I spy a terribly dull evening ahead.
I hate this kind of event.
Lizzie!
What? I don't like being pushed and pulled and drunk on all to play a game I'd rather not win.
I spy your mother ensnaring Mrs. Long's scabby son for you now.
Don't squeeze it, Steve!
I spy. Maybe I'll have your mother to have lunch. Lizzie! Oh, I do believe I spy the wealthy Mr. Bingley entering now. This equally rich sister. She's much too perfect to be admired. I rather hate her.
Charles! But that cannot be the bachelor my mother described. Charlotte, he seems most disappointingly mortal.
No.
Caroline, have you ever seen a more charming room?
A very rustic sort of charm.
And thus natural, unaffected, wonderful.
Charles.
Escape too hazardous.
Fetch.
Come, sir, come. Now, Darcy, have you ever seen a more lively company?
It is loud.
There's nothing like bouncing to quicken the blood.
Any savage can dance, Bingley.
And some do now.
All these vivacities, eccentricities, and imperfections. You know, I'm sure I should
Imperfections. Bingley, I never found fault with too much perfection.
Darcy, there was never been a more pleasant ball, nor a livelier company. I'm sure I should never be happy that I am at this very moment. I spy. I believe I spy.
Charles, please.
I hate this kind of event.
Detestable, aren't they? So vulgar and clumsy.
It is a very close room.
Are you getting hot? but you've got his friend, Mr. Darcy, who is worth 10,000 a year. Oh, Lizzie, do reply. Yes.
Miss Bigley. My eldest, Miss Jane Bennett.
Miss Bennett, shall we?
Darcy, wouldn't such a pair as ourselves be a compliment to themselves?
'Tis a compliment I never pay. Punch.
What do you see, Charlotte? You see, out of all the girls here, Mr. Bingley chose Jane. 5,000 a year. She shall snap him up in a dragon, and all our problems will be solved.
Yes, well, I guess. Who cares if Mr. Bingley is amiable or decent, or even breathing? All that matters is that real win. 5,000 a year, only really thing I have to do is snare him. Oh!
What, Charlotte? As I tell you, I'm Scottish. It's a 2 victories.
Mrs. Bennett.
Surprise attack! Oh, Lizzie, how could you be so clumsy? How to spit upon Mr. Darcy? Mr. Darcy? Miss Bennett, sir. And this is my single daughter, Elizabeth.
Mamma, please.
Oh, is it so, sir? How such a shame. Oh, you naughty, naughty girl. However, will you punish her, sir? Oh, look, that gosh. Will you show her, sir, that any imperfection is easily forgiven by a true gentleman and standard arts? Your friend Bingley has claimed my eldest, sir, but Lizzie here, oh, Lizzie here is free, very free indeed.
I would not want to get you wet.
Elizabeth, you go and apologize.
Mamma, this is too much.
Bingley, I must take my leave.
So soon? I'm not fit to be seen. I look laughable. So what, you're not perfect? It's a country ball, Darcy. You cannot leave now. It's most impolite.
This is all too much.
Oh, why would you? Let's go.
It would be a punishment to dance with any lady here.
How can you say that? Miss Jane Bennett, for example, is beautiful as an angel.
Then you found the one tolerable woman in the whole room.
We shall not give up on the fair sanity.
Bingley, all these vulgar country mothers pushing their daughters onto ones like choice cows at a meat market. I loathe French company. I detest dancing, and I have no desire to give a thrill to some awkward, desperate spinster, let alone or covered in rum punch.
Just getting some more of the wrong side. So, punch. Oh no, please! Please, sir, let me.
No!
Well, we really must be going. This company is rather too lively.
My dear, we really should be very sorts of a terrier. And Lydia has rather overindulged in the refreshments.
Mama, I swiped the captain's toilet.
Oh,
Punch, punch, punch! Shall every girl in this family be undone by that devil drink?
Miss Bennett, I hope I shall see you again.
Yes! 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 Yes, Mr. Bingley. She would love to see you again very, very soon.
And I shall have my sister invite you to dinner.
my dear!
About Mr. Bingley?
Good day.
Jane, Jane,
Come, Bingley. Come, come.
Oh, so sorry. Bennet. Oh, Jane was so admired by Bingley and quite openly. Oh, danced with her all evening, hadn't a glance at another lady. When Mrs. Lucas was just beside herself with nasty, spiteful jealousy. And then Jane, especially invited to Netherfield overnight.
She was not invited overnight, Mamma. They had to ask her to stay because you sent her tea on horseback and were afraid you would not send the carriage to collect her, which is very,
Very clever, my dear. It isn't my first time in the field, after all. I won your father, didn't I? And isn't he a prize?
Have consumption or be done with it.
Oh, and what did Mr. Bingley say exactly? Lydia, what did he say?
Mr. Robinson asked Mr. Bingley who he thought the prettiest woman in the room, and he said,
Miss Jane Bennet, without a doubt. Oh, yes. Excellent eavesdropping, Lydia. Very well played.
You should not be encouraging Lydia to eavesdrop.
You cannot say so, Elizabeth. Vulgar country mothers pushing their spinster daughters.
Indeed. Not all men are worth listening to, are they? Oh, Lizzie. Oh, my poor dear. Can you imagine Mr. Darcy? So rude. Everybody says he's ate up with pride. And I dare say he thought we were beneath him.
I would not have you dance with this vain man, Elizabeth.
Papa, I may safely promise never to do so.
With such a waste, dear. Of £10,000.
Pride. Pride. Vanity and pride are different. A person may be vain without being proud. Pride relates more to our opinion of ourselves, vanity to what we would have others think of us. Pride.
Well, my logic, Mary.
Well, if I were Mr. Darcy, I shouldn't care how proud people thought I was. I would own 100 dresses and drink a bottle of wine every day.
Then you would drink more than you ought, dear. And I would take away your bottles, I reckon.
You wouldn't.
I would.
You wouldn't.
I would.
A little for another fill, Pop.
Oh, it is from Jane! She says that we should not expect her back this evening because she has fallen ill, and the doctor advises her quite seriously to rest. Oh, isn't this wonderful? Oh, Viola, send word back that Jane may stay for however long she likes, that she may stay forever.
Mamma, shouldn't we send the carriage and let Jane recover at home?
Oh, Elizabeth, are you feeling quite well?
Papa?
Oh, if she is to be ill, she must be ill where it is advantageous. Papa.
Perhaps you will die. That would be romantic.
So romantic. Papa!
Matrimonial games are women's purview, Elizabeth. I've had enough ever since my own round was lost. Leave me out of this.
We often hear of sickness from love. Maybe this is a case of love from sickness. Oh,
Yes! Oh, very well said, Mary. Very well said indeed.
if you were not to bring Jane to us, then I would go to her myself.
Oh, I forbid you to do so, Elizabeth. You may not have the carriage.
Then I shall walk.
Oh, Mr. Bennet! Oh, Elizabeth! Lizzie, come back here. Come back here this instant, please. Lizzie.
tea.
More tea? Charles, you just had some sent up. Do you want to drown the poor girl?
I just hate to think of her in that bed, all alone. She's a lovely creature, isn't she?
She smiles too much.
Jane Bennet is perfectly inoffensive.
Well, I think her rather perfect, period.
You're too apt to admire people in general, Bingley. You never see a fault in anyone. All the world is agreeable in your eyes, and I never heard you speak ill of a human being in your life.
Well, perhaps you are too inclined to see people's flaws, Darcy.
If we do not address imperfections in all frankness, we never shall correct them.
Yes, Charles, there is virtue in being particular.
I cannot stand in resistance to both of you at once, but you must concede that Miss Bennet is amiable, at the very least.
Oh, Bingley.
Well, I do agree with you, Darcy, that one does only want next to the best. After all, without a clear-eyed judgment, what shocking company we should
Miss Elizabeth Bennet, sir.
Mr. Bingley, Miss Bingley, Mr. Darcy, is this your ball?
Miss Bennet, have you suffered some sort of accident?
No, I'm here to call upon my sister.
Your clothes?
Oh, I came on foot. 'Tis only 3 miles.
3 miles.
Oh, it is still raining a bit, and I took a bit of a trouble. So, how is Jane?
She will not come down, Miss Bennet.
Will you bring me to her? Then you needn't bear for your carpets.
Of course, I shall send her more tea.
More tea! Charles, please! What shocking company indeed!
No more tea, thank you. Jane? Lizzie? Yes. Lizzie, I'm so glad you're here. Won't you come out now, darling? Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Jane, you gave me such a turn. I thought you were dying.
I am Lizzie. Listen to me.
It's only a cold.
It's a disaster.
But how can I go down there and let Mr. Bingley see me like this? Lizzie, I look worse than Mary! Oh, no, now you are speaking nonsense, dearest. You are beautiful as ever.
You think that because you love me.
But Mr. Bingley hardly knows me.
And first impressions are very important.
If he likes you, then he will like you even in an imperfect state. And I'm sure that he does like you. Very much.
Really? Because Lizzie, I like him too.
Oh,
So much. He's a perfect man.
Well, drink your tea and tell me how such a paradox is possible.
I do hope that water shall come under the carpet.
Of course it would, it's only water.
6 inches of mud on her. And did you see her hair? To walk 15 miles, or whatever it is, unchaperoned. She really is too much.
Well, I happen to think that Miss Bennet was remarkably well this morning.
Charles! I'm sure your noble friend agrees with me, and you always take his counsel. Miss Bennet demonstrates a shocking indifference to decorum. Darcy, don't you?
I.
Oh, shh.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
Miss Bennet, how was your sister?
Materially better. I dare say we'll be able to leave in the morning.
Oh, no, please stay. Does your sister still play Darcy? Her touch on the pianoforte is so graceful, so delicate, so faultless. But then she is so well-bred.
It is amazing how ladies are like that. So accomplished.
All ladies accomplished. Charles, whatever can you mean?
Well, if you play instruments and embroider purses and do a whole host of fiddly little arts that will leave me bewildered.
Those are, of course, almost the only occupations allowed to us.
If that is what you call accomplished, Bingley, I'm not surprised you think all ladies so. I don't know more than one or two women that truly fit the description.
I wager you set your expectations high, Mr. Darcy. Tell me, what is your ideal?
No woman shall be called accomplished who does not possess a mastery of music, needlework, and the languages.
All the languages.
And even that is nothing if she does not know when to speak and when to hold her peace. The accomplished woman is irreproachable, an elegant ornament in any room, a sparkling delight to any eye, a flawless vessel into which the confidences of even the greatest men can safely be poured.
And to this facade, she must add something more serious by the continual improvement of her character.
I no longer wonder at your knowing only a few accomplished women. And I wonder at your knowing any. I never saw such a lady, uniting capacity, taste, and elegance with, I almost forgot, moral invincibility.
Let us play fairly, Miss Bennet, and surely you shall avenge yourself. Surely you can picture the perfect man.
Is it funny?
Pictures of perfection make me sick and wicked.
The ideal, then, if not the perfect.
If I ever saw him, I should know it.
Miss Jane, a minute.
Miss Bennet, did you get my tea?
Wet entrances are a family trait, I see.
Bingley seems to roll.
It'll pass, as all blinded Hutchins do.
I suppose he's in no real danger. Still, she's an interesting creature.
You are lost, sir. But I know your mind. You are thinking how insupportable it would be to pass much time in this society.
I am mediating on the pleasure of which a pair of bright eyes in the face of a woman can bestow.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Very well done, my dear. Very clever. I'm glad to see you taking serious action at last.
There was no stratagem in a common cold, Mamma.
Oh, it is a pity that you recovered so quickly. But it served. You have bewitched Mr. Bingley. Oh, he throws his ball to a purpose, Jane. He prepares his ambush, and you must take care to be confident.
Mr. Bingley's ball is no compliment to me, Mamma.
Speaking nonsense.
You will engage him in earnest, won't you, Jane? You won't be too diffident, you.
I will do all that is appropriate.
Oh, thank you, Jane. This is why you're my favorite. Oh, the rest of you are nothing compared to Jane. 5,000 a year. Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Mrs. Lucas's face.
Mama, we Jane! Lizzie, Mama, Lizzie, Jane! Lizzie, Mama, Jane! Thank you. We have such a surprise, Lizzie. Play it, go, Lizzie, play it, play with it, go. Hey,
Mineral
Nay, it's true, yes, you're all to the game is over. Mary and I win.
Tonight is the night.
I have done my duties for the family, Mamma, for I have lured home the most majestic beast, a gentleman for tea.
Lydia, you should not be bringing strange men home.
And why not?
And why not? I was chaperone. Mary was with me, and Lord knows she's a stumbling block before the line. And I thought he might do for you, Lizzie. You're welcome.
My daughters, sir, Jane and Elizabeth. Mr. Wickham. Mr. Wickham has recently taken a commission in the regiment as a colonel, sir.
Well, he's a lieutenant, I'm afraid.
Ah, isn't that laudable? You can sit by Elizabeth here while I go and fetch Mr. Bennet. It'll be a moment, sir. He's at his paper.
Mr. Wickham, I have such a naughty proposition for you. I demand that you come, escort us to the Bingley ball on Tuesday. He is James Bowling, ever so rare, and that Jane is spoken for. Lizzie is very much available. Aren't you, Lizzie? No bachelors will be there, only James. And not Bo, the atrocious Mr. Darcy. So after her, you must stand with me too. Come, sir, come. Mary! Do play something more cheerful. How can anything be arranged with you pounding away like that?
Please do excuse my sisters.
Nothing could be more natural than one so young, and I like high spirits.
How are you finding the county so far, Mr. Wickham?
It is charming. People so unreserved. Miss Elizabeth, the Darcy your sister mentioned, is that Mr. Darcy of Derbyshire?
Say,
May I ask how well you know him?
we are acquainted. Are you friendly with him yourself?
We are acquainted. I have been connected with this family since my infancy, but perhaps I should say no more.
Mr. Wickham, I will lay myself bare and tell you that I find the man to be very disagreeable.
Then I will expose myself entirely and tell you that I'm not that surprised. We are expressing dangerous opinion, you know.
No, not this county, sir. He is not at all like touch. Everybody is disgusted by his pride.
How discerning you all are. It always pains me to see much I shall not be driven away from this place too. In normal conversation, I would never break my silence, but since we are being so naughty, Mr. Darcy's father was my godfather.
Oh!
One of the best men to have ever breathed. Not a speck of pride in him. He loved me as another son, and he promised that when I came into manhood, I would inherit the most valuable living, but I'm afraid that after he died, that living went elsewhere.
You were robbed of your inheritance by Mr. Darcy.
I assume he's jealous of my relationship with his father. Rest in peace.
I always knew Darcy despised his fellow creatures, but I never thought he was mad as this. To descend to thievery. And not because of his
Pride?
Pride. Precisely. He deserves to be publicly disgraced.
That may be so, but I have sworn to never speak ill of him in memory of my beloved father. I must thank you for allowing me to unburden myself to you, Mrs.
No, you may call me Lizzie.
Bennett. There's something about you that encourages a man to open his heart.
Thank you.
Mr. Bennett will be in presently, sir.
I must be on my way, ma'am. I only wanted to escort Elizabeth home. I can almost see what the wall.
What a charming gentleman, but only a lieutenant.
Well, Lizzie, isn't he
Oh, there you are.
Want to catch,
I am not interested in catching anybody. And you should not be thinking of such things.
But that's all anybody thinks
Not
of.
me.
Well, you ought to.
Well, you ought to.
Even if I was tempted, Mr. Wickham is inappropriate. The gentle matchmaking is inappropriate. This conversation is inappropriate.
Well, if you don't want
Oh,
it.
girls, please. My nurse.
Where? Mrs. Paris. Come to steal away our poor excuses for Helens.
Just missed him, Papa.
Then I fulfilled my duty as matriarch, frightening off unserious young men.
See, inappropriate and unserious.
Only a lieutenant, Mr. Bennett.
The soundness and that will occasionally catch the smallest fish, my dear.
You are in high spirits today, Papa.
I've had an intriguing letter. I hope you can accommodate another young man for dinner tomorrow, madam.
Mr. Bingley, oh, Jane, you clever creature, you.
No! It is my cousin, Mr. Collins. The very same villain who shall inherit the estate when I finally...
No, I will not stand for it, sir. Go,
And I must
Oh,
inform
here
him
comes the Count
that he is single. And if that fails, perhaps you can persuade him to cede you the best linen, to shroud me in.
Is he a red coat, Papa?
A clergyman's.
Oh?
And if you ladies manage not to frighten him away,
With a plethora of young men, there is a match for everybody, I suppose. Even Mary.
Lizzie, Mr. Collins sounds very appropriate and serious.
I tell you, ladies. Oh, you young ladies. Oh, you young, gracious ladies. Youth and grace. Oh, you ladies. It is a grave duty to act as tutor of the spirit, essence, soul, but as a clergyman, it is my place to promote, establish, inspire charity, and I have been sent on this quest, mission, crusade, by none other than the most righteous Lady Catherine the Berg. Lady Catherine the Berg. I flatter myself that my overtures are meritorious, creditable, commendable, and that you will not reject, refuse, spurn this proffered olive branch.
Very well said, Mr. Collins. And we are open to any connection between our houses, sir. Any connection at all.
To spend even an instant in the company of my fair cousins, madam, shall be to feel forever gratified, enchanted.
Trance!
Entrance!
Oh, well, it is your duty, gals, to show Mr. Collins all of Meryton's charms. And will you stand with them, sir, in line at Mr. Bingley's ball?
No!
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No, ladies. Sir, as a clergyman, you may not wish to dance.
I hope to couple with all my cousins in the course of the evening. I may make this plea, assertion, claim to you, I think, for we are relations.
Dinner!
oh look, girls, it's dinner time. Go, 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 go.
plain, I am a bachelor, and thanks to my noble patroness, Lady Catherine the Fair, I am a man of some notable, estimable, considerable fortune.
Oh, Mr. Collins!
Oh, your eldest daughter,
Jane.
is excessively pretty.
I have to inform you, sir, that Jane is spoken for. But my other daughters are available. Quite available, indeed.
I am sent to bring you into dinner, sir.
Oh, for you, sweet
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, I should go anywhere.
before moving on to more serious skirmishes. Oh, much like you did with Mr. Wickham. Mrs. Long, how is your style, dear?
Who is Mr. Wickham?
He's only a lieutenant. If you can overlook that, he seems rather perfect.
This from the lady who was sworn to remain unmarried forever. Pray tell, where is this paragon?
Do not read up the man, Charlotte, just because I wish for a dance partner less objectionable than Mr. Collins. Besides, I do not spy Wickham in the assembly.
Jane is fortunate, her admirer.
Speaking of perfection,
Does she like him?
can't you see?
She seems too composed to be enough.
But how forward can she be without being accused of
Colonel Foster, may I touch your musket?
vulgarity?
She'll catch him if she just breaks the rules a bit.
Must have always been catching and gaming and strategy. Perhaps she simply wishes to know him before she makes her displays her affection.
How much can we ever know of anybody? She should hurry up and get him to the altar. She's got the rest of her life to fall in love.
Charlotte, you cannot think that for yourself.
It is my experience that one invariably finds oneself doing the very things one swore never to do. Speaking of which,
Miss Bennet, I wondered if you felt an inclination to dance with me.
But you hate to dance.
If you are previously...
Well, let's find us go
Attention, mesdames et messieurs. Now, you're all familiar with the charms of most of my daughters, especially you, sir. But one of my girls is more different than the others. Oh, Mary! Oh,
full, many a flower is born to blush unseen.
no, dear. Not that way. Mary! 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 Another song, dear. Nothing can be arranged to such music.
No, Mary, you have to let us long enough.
She is available to dance now. Oh, retreat. Miss Bingley. Caroline. Come, dear, we have much to discuss. Oh, now tell me exactly, how large is your estate?
Because the painful exertion of a lady attempting to be thought a compliment.
You are joking.
They must start out by being impertinent, Mr. Darcy, or I will be afraid of you.
It's something amusing, Miss Bennet.
Oh, nothing. Everything. Us, I suppose.
You are laughing at me.
At myself, sir.
What about you is so amusing?
Where to begin? My flaws and follies and inconsistencies. The whole range of life is out of my control, really. One cannot always cry over it, so I laugh whenever I can.
How interesting.
I suppose you never laugh at yourself, Mr. Darcy.
It's the study of my life to avoid those imperfections which expose character to ridicule.
Such as vanity and pride.
Vanity is indeed a weakness, but pride, where there is real superiority of mind, pride may be justified. You are laughing at me.
Only because the contrast between us is so extreme. I am fundamentally flawed and thus hopelessly unserious. But you seem to know that you possess no defects whatsoever.
Miss Bennet, I think you do not mean that.
I speak a lot of nonsense. You must concede that others may laugh to see us standing up together.
Why?
Because we are such an unlikely pairing.
If I thought it laughable, I never should have asked you. Miss Bennet, I am also not perfect.
No.
I have some faults.
Pray tell.
Perhaps my temper is a little too unyielding to the liking of the world.
Oh.
I cannot forget, laugh at the follies of others,
Ah.
and my good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
You have chosen your flaws well, Mr. Darcy, for they are truly very serious.
There's perhaps a particular evil in every character.
May I sum up yours, Mr. Darcy? Your defect is, I'm afraid, a propensity to hate everybody.
And yours is to willfully misunderstand them.
Oh, Mr. Darcy! It is a surprise to see you here, sir. I was sure you'd slithered back to town by now. Oh, by all means, do not tarry, sir. What? Why should we keep Mr. Darcy from more sophisticated guys? Mr. Bingley enjoys his time here in Meryton, and I'm sure always has something agreeable to say, unlike those who fancy themselves important.
Mamma, please.
Oh, Mr. Darcy may go where he is tolerated, and Mr. Bingley may stay where he is wanted. We're happy to rid ourselves of one to keep the other forever.
Bravo, Mama!
Oh,
Why are you here, sir? For you know that nobody likes you.
oh, bravo!
And why are you dancing with Lizzie? For we know that you do not like her.
Bravo! Dear.
Come, Lizzie, let's go find Mr. Wickham.
Oh,
Mr. Wickham, Mr. George Wickham of Derbyshire.
Yes, of Derbyshire.
of Derbyshire, sir, and a much more appropriate dance partner than some.
I assure you he is not, madam, as I know the man very well.
He had the most interesting things to say about you.
Come, Lizzie, come.
Have you all made a pact to expose yourselves as much as you could this evening?
Mr. Darcy, how could you leave me at the mercy of that old one? Lured away by bright eyes, I see. When shall I reach the joy?
The lady's imagination is indeed rapid. It jumps from admiration to love to matrimony in a moment.
I was only joking, sir.
You too do not enjoy being an object of fun.
You would have a charming mother. She confided shocking expectations. These little games are getting out of hand. It is time to act seriously. Don't you agree?
Miss Bennet, may I call on you tomorrow in private?
Well, have I only kids your mom?
I don't need help, so.
Oh, you don't need help, sir. What?
Did Mr. Bingley say that he would call? No. But I may not go to church today in case he comes.
Jane, would you endanger your immortal soul to meet with a man?
What is this shocking behavior? Perhaps I should go after all.
No, we are only joking.
Oh, indeed, you could stand to be much more shocking in your dealings with Mr. Bingley, Jane. Really. I always feel that I'm not a fool.
Truly.
But I suppose we are all blind to ourselves. When he comes, I will let him know that I like him. Ooh, I like you, Mr. Bingley. A truly affectionate response to a proposal.
Charlotte, we cannot you know.
Now let us remember the bond.
Jane, is it from Bingley?
He's here! Oh, the time has arrived! Jane, will you step outside for just a moment? Mr. Collins has something to say to Lizzie.
Oh, my fair cousin!
Come, Jane. Come.
Jane, you can stay.
Yes, I open the door, please.
Charlotte,
Charlotte, you kiss.
Here. Please excuse me.
Oh, your modesty, cousin, only adds to your merits, attributes, perfections. Such delicacy is most desirable in a lady.
Mr. Collins.
Yes, Elizabeth Marie Bennet.
Not my middle name.
I have chosen you as the partner, companion, helpmate of my life.
Mr. Collins.
Let me assure you of the violence of my affection. 2 weeks ago, Lady Catherine de Bourgh condescended to give me her honorable opinion on the subject. Mr. Collins, you must marry, said her ladyship, and mine she be of good stock. Oh, and what better stock, my sweet cousin, than that of my own? Why,
Mr. Collins.
I came to Meryton to find, choose, select a wife. Oh, and I dare say I bring back quite a prize. Oh, of all my cousins currently available to choose from, you are the most desirable
Mr.
cousin.
Collins, I am sure the honor of your proposal, but it is impossible for me to do otherwise than to decline it.
You cannot be serious. Ladies always reject the gentleman's first advances. One must woo, court, win over and over before attaining blushing surrender. I shall play this game and do the best like your humility is most captivating. Oh, charming! practice against females.
Refuses. Elizabeth Bennet refuses.
Oh, you're uniformly scrumptious.
The answer is no.
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 What is all this racket?
Oh, Mr. Bennet. Mr. Bennet, make Lizzie marry Mr. Collins.
Which will allow you to keep this estate in your family.
I know, but no.
But you have such low connections. No other offer will ever be made to you.
Yes, I know, but no.
But you are one of 4 daughters and not even very pretty.
No! And Mr. Collins, will you step outside for but a moment, sir? Charlotte Lucas here. Charlotte? Will you take Mr. Collins here for a stroll?
I came to select a wife.
Oh, Elizabeth Bennet! Do you have any concern for my nerves, dear? Mr. Bennet, do you have any concern for my nerves?
You refuse Mr. Collins,
Oh,
Miss.
Papa, I'm very interested in finding a husband generally, and particularly not that one.
But your mother insists that you accept him.
Upon my feelings in every respect forbidden.
Oh, I swear, I never shall see her again.
Then an unhappy choice is before you, Elizabeth. Your mother will never see you again if you do not marry Mr. Collins. And I'll never see you again if you do.
Mr. Bennet!
Lead me to my paper.
Mr. Bennet!
And so I seek the family fortunes.
Why didn't you accept him, Lizzie? He seemed most appropriate.
What is appropriate? One should do anything rather than marry with affection.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, what fun this all is.
Charlotte! Yes, did you rid yourself of Mr. Collins?
Not precisely. He is going to Lucas Lodge to ask consent from my father.
You don't mean to say that he has made another offer on the course of a walk?
Charlotte, Lucas, how can you tell such a story? Mr. Collins wanted to marry Lizzie. You refused him rather absolutely. He did come to select a wife, and I was there. Oh, good Lord. Go, Lydia! Go!
You hardly know me, Charlotte.
Dancers, your little conversation, we've been thrown together a bit. That is all most couples have.
Mr. Collins!
Nobody else is asking, Lizzie. My parents have no money, I shall have no dowry, and I'm not... Well, you and I were not exactly James, are we?
Charlotte!
The clock is ticking. Marriage is a serious matter and ought to be considered rationally. With Mr. Collins, I shall have this.
All of this?
Yes. The entail is not my fortune. And Lizzie had a chance. There doesn't need to be any awkwardness between us, does there? We shall soon laugh at this as we do everything else. Lydia has told Mama. You will visit me in Kent once I'm married, won't you? You won't abandon me just because I've stepped out of the line. Lizzie, do wish me joy.
Do not cry, Jane. And you upset with me too.
No. It's a note from Netherfield. Bingley writes that she and her brother have left the county this morning.
Did Mr. Darcy go too? whether they do return.
Never.
Lizzie, she said they are never coming back.
This is not a game. This is not a game. You understand? More willful and stubborn and prideful. Passive and milquetoast and timid. To suitable gentleness. To perfect matches. Lost. And all my hard work goes to nothing. Oh, we shall be ruined.
Ma!
Lydia, my love. I cannot see these stupid girls any longer. I never shall see them again. Oh, take me to my sick bed. Take me to my death. Oh, my nurse. My nurse. My
In case you didn't get that, it was the nose.
I know that note is wrong, Jane. Bingley will return soon.
You really think so?
Everything will be fine. Jane, you'll see. You'll see.
My dear,
No! It is all right. I do not wish to discuss it, sir.
Mrs. Bennet.
I suppose I was just thinking about how shiny you kiss would you up this room after you have dropped dead. Oh, Lizzie, what do you think she will do? Will she steal the furniture? Or will she burn it down to matchsticks? She can do what she likes, of course. She shall be mistress of this house. Oh, I do know one thing, Jane. There shall be no giant Mr. Bingley riding into our rescue, for he shall be long snatched up by some half-intelligent lady with an inch of spine.
Mamma!
And we, an old widow, and her spinster daughters, shall cry over our lost chances. But then it will be too late to cry.
Let us hope for better things, my dear.
Oh, that I were alive to see these days.
Perhaps you will die before me. Then you have to do none of it.
Viola! Do you hear me? Speak to me!
She'll never die.
At least she's not growing things.
Won't last much longer. Charlotte has moved to Kent, and when you return from visiting her, Mamma will be too eager for gossip or hold a grudge. And as for
Bingley?
he shall soon be forgotten, and all will be as it was. I have nothing to hope for, Lizzie. It was an error of fancy on my side, nothing more.
He must have felt something for
But
you.
then why did he leave so suddenly? With no word for a month.
I cannot believe that the Bingley we knew would act in this manner. But every day confirms the inconsistency of all characters, even those thought to be perfect gentlemen. Jane, do you love him?
I thought love would be faultless understanding between souls. Perfect knowledge without words needed. But I don't know his mind.
His behavior is unaccountable.
Maybe I just loved who I thought he was. But Lizzie, even if I did, love him doesn't mean that I know that he is the right match. How does one ever know? Hello! You'll never guess what piece I have left home again.
Mr. Wickham!
Miss Bennett, it's Lizzie. How would you do?
They are very dull, Mr. Wickham. They see nobody and go nowhere, and stupid, Mr. Bingley. Stupid went a stupid way. He'll make you laugh and laugh. Mr. Wickham, do your impression of the cross-eyed cabman. Oh, tell him the shocking story of how Darcy stole your inheritance. Ugh, anything to break up his seriousness. Would you please accompany me to the other room for but a moment? Why? Go, Lydia. Go, go, go. Go.
High spirits. May I?
I thought only ladies played these games.
I used to play with Darcy's sister.
I hear she's very accomplished.
A proud girl, like all that family. When her brother turned against me, so did she.
Lydia said you told her the story of your disinheritance. I thought you swore never to speak of Mr. Darcy's misdeeds.
I had resolved not to, but I am afraid I am most imperfect, too open, too honest. Do you judge me for it?
No. Mr. Darcy has earned his infamy.
Miss Lizzie, I believe I have finally caught you.
Mr. Wickham, allow me to apologize. I should not have run on in that wild manner.
I have been known to behave in a wild manner myself.
Papa! This is Mr. Wickham. He has got married, I hope, today. Where is Mary, Lydia?
Ah, the infamous Mr. Wickham. Heard a great deal of nonsense about you from my girls. Which one shall you be taking off my hands?
Mary! Lydia! That's not Mary! You oh, it must be read so. It is most unattractive!
Please pardon the chaos. I wish I could say it was unusual.
Miss Lizzie, may I call on you again soon?
No, I'm off to visit my friend in Kent tomorrow, but I shall return in a few weeks.
I hope I can only wait so long.
I must congratulate you, Elizabeth. Jane has been crossed in love recently, and I know ladies like that above all things. Gives a lady sort of distinction, and it seems that you have found a man to disappoint you too.
No, Mr. Wickham shall not disappoint me if I can prevent it, Papa.
Why not? He seems capable of jilting you credibly.
How many times must I tell you? Tell everyone that I shall never marry.
So they all say before. How can you promise to be so much wiser than so many of your fellow creatures? Never sent to know when the bell tolls, Elizabeth. It tolls for thee.
bring so much for you as for the Angelus, but the Lord will allow this double celebration, jubilee. Recognition of your visit. Bing, bing, bong.
My dear, perhaps you could go and collect some nosegays for tonight.
Ah, yes, Miss Bennet. I do not want to overpower you, but I must inform you, my sweet cousin, we have been asked to tea at Rosings by none other than Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Yes. Oh, and you will have the inestimable honor of meeting Mr. Bourgh, the charming daughter. She is unfortunately of a delicate constitution, and that, as I told her ladyship, has deprived the British court of its brightest jewel, star, ornament.
My dear, nosegays. How are you, Lizzie?
I am perfect.
He loves to garden. I encourage him to do so and walk to Rosings every day and tend to his parishioners and be out generally.
How are you, Charlotte?
Oh, life isn't perfect on this side of the line too, but when I get overwhelmed or frustrated, I just play a little game. I close my eyes, I drift away, and I let whatever is bothering me become mere noise, like birds chirping or bells ringing, meaningless, an inoffensive portion of the scenery. The house is pretty, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies, the carriage will fetch us within the hour. Miss Bennet, do you intend to wear
This?
well, come. Come.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Oh, my lady! Oh, Mr. Bourgh! Oh, you both look so marvelous, splendid, radiant.
Don't look at her.
Miss Elizabeth Bennet, madam.
Turn, Miss Bennet. Turn. A tolerable figure, don't you think, Anne?
Yes.
Is a bit too plump. You are from Meryton, Miss Bennet? I had a relation there recently and drove through it once myself. It was disgusting. And you are one of 4 daughters. Are any of the sisters handsomer than herself?
Most, my lady.
thus your father's estate shall go to Collins. How poorly planned.
Dumb. The decision was not mine to make, ma'am.
You shall feel the lesson of it when your father dies. Is he a young man?
No.
Well, are any of your younger sisters out of society? Or the younger ones out before the elder ones are married? But some must be very young.
The youngest is only 14. But really, ma'am, it would be hard on younger sisters that they should not have their share of amusement because the elder may not have the inclination to marry.
How very odd.
Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Fitzwilliam! Oh, you naughty boy! We were not expecting you until tomorrow.
I traveled early to avoid bad weather, ma'am.
We are only too pleased, except that Anne and I are not dressed for any company of note. My nephew, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy.
Nephew.
The rector, Collins, his wife, and Miss...
Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
Did you mix with this company in Barrington, sir?
Not willingly.
We attended a dance or two together, ma'am.
I had no idea you danced. Anne. Sit by Anne, sir, and tell us of your journey.
Yes.
By Anne Fitzwilliam.
Tea.
No!
Oh, thank you!
Miss Bennet, do you play?
A little, but
We
not.
shall hear you.
Are you all right?
Fitzwilliam. I never thought of his having a Christian name before. He's always only been the infamous Darcy. Fitzwilliam.
Hush, he shall hear you. No, don't look. He's staring.
Fitzwilliam is staring.
What are you looking at, sir? What is it you are talking of, ladies?
Of the instrument, ma'am.
No doubt it is superior to what you have known. We bought it. Fitzwilliam?
I am surprised to find you in Kent, Miss Bennet.
Seems you cannot escape me, sir. Vice versa.
She came to visit me, sir.
Mrs. Collins is an old friend to Mr. Darcy. And you might have danced with her at Barrington had you ever deigned to engage young ladies in that county.
I never had the pleasure of a formal introduction.
And nobody can be introduced in a ballroom, Fitzwilliam.
Perhaps I'm ill qualified to recommend myself to strangers.
Shall we ask the gentleman the reason? Shall we ask him why a man of sense who has lived in the world is ill-qualified to recommend himself to strangers?
I do not have the talent of conversing naturally with those I've never seen before. I cannot catch their tone or appear interested in their concerns. I cannot easily say polite things which I know are not true or be otherwise.
I'm serious. My fingers do not move over this instrument in the masterful manner which I see so many women do. They are capable of expression. They have not the same rapidity or force or charm. But that's my own fault, Charlotte, because I will not take the trouble of practicing.
Then perhaps, Mrs. Collins, neither of us performs perfectly in front of strangers.
What is it you are talking of, Fitzwilliam?
Of music, ma'am.
I must have my share of the conversation.
I will tell you what they are saying.
Mr. Darcy, might I inquire after Mr. Bigby?
Left Bingley town.
He left so suddenly. Who halted?
And where we missed.
Sir, I am instructed to take your place. Your aunt wishes you to hear how Mr. Bird would handle an instrument.
Yes!
Come, Fitzwilliam. Come.
Elizabeth Bennet, I think that man admires you.
Charlotte, you are talking nonsense.
You still find him odious.
I still find him odd. And yes, of course I still find it offensive. Remember his treatment of Miss Wickham?
His behavior appears reprehensible, but perhaps we have misjudged him.
Charlotte.
10,000 a year, I can overlook any manner of imperfection.
Perhaps I should oblige the company with the tune, song, and love, if you will, but marry.
My dear.
Make two hearts beat as one, like to a noble cherry. Down my chin the juice will run.
You need not join us. That is, you needn't leave your conversation.
But I am sent away. Lady Catherine is arranging a tete-a-tete. A perfect match, for she shall inherit Rosings and he Pemberley. Together, they will have the greatest fortune in England.
Indeed. So die the hopes of Miss Bingley.
Ah, that Bingley brings me to my other point. I have a double plot. Mission, intrigue. Lady Catherine sent me to ask, what lady was it that drove Mr. Darcy out of Meryton?
A lady?
Yes, for you know that was the cause.
A lady.
His friend, Mr. Bingley, got in a scrape with the woman. It would have been the most imperfect, unwise, impudent act. The girl came from a vulgar, common, low sort of family, and if Mr. Darcy had not whisked him away, Bingley would have been caught, entangled, and snared at her. But you must know, my dear, what was her name? I like to eat roast goose with stuffing. Stuffed up so tight in my rectory.
Lizzie, I'm so sorry. I was wrong about everything the whole time.
I was right. Charlotte, I was right. I've been seeing him clearly since the beginning.
I would say this, but I cannot miss both services.
I shall try to write to Jane.
I will make it known you are still unwell. At least you will not get wet.
They said you were ill, and then I did not see you just now. In the church. I came to inquire if you are better.
I am fine.
Bells.
Pardon?
Bells. They never will ring if they are made imperfectly, you know. Weak, metal, careless manufacture. And they never shall sound as they should. But if they're cast of stronger stuff, of quality, you ring them once and you can't control the vibration, can you? They just go on and on, however they will, once they are struck, and nothing can stop them. And whether they sound for alarm or benediction, they cannot be unrung. They just go and go, however they will, until their energy is spent, until they crack.
What?
They bring to demand. Attention must be paid. Something is happening, something beyond our control. Something arranged over our heads has changed. In vain, I have struggled. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. I love you. In spite of all my endeavors, in spite of the absolute instability of the match and of your family, quite frankly, your own conduct, you have ensnared me.
Ensnared you?
Your mother taught you well. I'm yours entirely. Miss Bennett, you win. Miss Bennett.
No.
Miss Bennett, you need.
You're going to get it all wet. I do not need you! If I could feel gratitude for your declaration, sir, I would thank you for it. I have never desired your good opinion.
You cannot be serious.
I am. I actually am, and I'm so far from trying to ensnare you, Mr. Darcy, that I have openly decried you as the most uncivil of men.
I, uncivil, when with so little civility I refuse.
How could I do otherwise? When you tell me that you like me, against your will, your reason, your character, and I have other provocations, you reproach me for my conduct. But you have behaved in a reprehensible manner yourself. Your treatment of Mr. Wickham.
I suppose Wickham is a great favorite of yours.
He is an agreeable man, one of whom you brought over nothing but your pride.
Who told you that?
Not the only claim laid against you. Had my feelings not already been decided? Had they even been favorable? Do you think I could ever accept the man who has ruined the happiness of a beloved sister?
Perhaps Mr. Wickham has told all American that I deprived him of the living promised to him by my father. But I dare say, he did not tell what led to his disinheritance.
He said that
Wickham attempted to seduce my sister. Georgiana was only 14 years old, Miss Bennett. A sweet, soft-hearted romantic, and innocent. This is the agreeable man you speak of?
I cannot believe it.
Believe what you will. I speak frankly as always. I would slander Wickham's name as openly as he does my own, but for the sake of Georgiana's reputation. As to your sister, Bingley liked Jane Bennet. I could see that he likes everyone. Your sister did not seem to invite a serious attachment. She was amiable, but I never saw evidence that she felt anything more.
Then you are blind.
But I did see. What I did see was an imperfect match with unreliable and indifferent players, spurred on mostly by the fortune-hunting machinations of your mother, whose total lack of propriety even you must acknowledge. The morning we left Meryton, Bingley did intend to propose to your sister. I urged him instead to absent himself from the county. I told him that Jane Bennet did not care for him, and he would soon be trapped in a shameful connection. But had I known that she did indeed return his affection,
She did! She does!
I still would have done the same. It was a most imperfect match, and I was glad to spare him from it. Towards Bingley, I have been kinder than towards myself, but then I could do nothing. Miss Bennet, I do not mean to hurt your pride, but I abhor falsehood. and you cannot expect me to rejoice in the inferiority of your family. Surely in your lifetime you've seen the consequences of imprudent attachment. Surely you have seen the misery of a mismatch. Can I speak in flatteries like other gentlemen?
You are mistaken, Mr. Darcy. If you think you could have made the offer in any way that would have tempted me to accept, almost the first moment of our acquaintance, you have been unfailingly arrogant, prideful, and disdainful for the feelings of others, particularly my sister Jane. A sweet, soft-hearted, romantic, and innocent. I have no inclination towards marriage, Mr. Darcy. Even if I did, you are the last man in the world whom I would ever consider.
This is all too much. Miss Bennet, I swear I never shall express sentiments again which are so disgusting.
Mr. Darcy another. Whatever defense you may mount for him, Charlotte, Mr. Darcy is very insulting.
Sounds as if you did him as much injury as he did you.
But I cannot help it. He is so self-righteous, so obstinate, so irritating. When I'm around him, I am irresistibly tempted to aggravate him, which is all too much.
10,000
Oh, 10,000 pounds! I wouldn't marry Mr. Darcy for 100,000, even if I didn't hate him. Which I do. Charlotte, I do. I shall never think of him again. I will be very, very glad of it.
Well, you may think of him occasionally during our tour of his estate. Lady Catherine has asked us to accompany her to Pemberley next week.
No. Charlotte, you must be mad. I cannot visit his home.
Lady Catherine said that Mr. Darcy shall not be there. He shall be in town the entire time.
No,
You cannot make me go alone.
You will not be alone. You shall have your husband.
Precisely. Come, Lizzie, come, come, come.
Natural beauty now.
It grows wild under Fitzwilliam's care, but I am sure he could be talked into having all of these imperfections pruned. A lady's touch is needed. I will instruct Fitzwilliam to discipline the gardener, not that he will do so properly.
What do you mean, ma'am?
He is too familiar with the servants, Mrs. Collins. Overpays them, overfeeds them, and will take responsibility for every worn-out old pensioner, though he makes his estates a charity. Another thing that will change with a right-minded mistress. Don't you agree, Anne?
Yes. My lady, in Mountain I knew another gentleman associated with this household. A Mr. Wickham. Were you acquainted with him?
The steward's boy, terrible teller of fibs, as I'm told. My brother brought him up at his own expense, but blood will tell, Miss Bennet, and he turned out no gentleman at all.
And you never washed his hands after he uses the chamber pot.
Fine shrubbery here. This statuary alone is worth over £800.
Diana's cornflowers!
Like this.
Lilac! Primrose! Second!
Let it all become noise, like bells ringing or birds chirping. Meaningless.
Glories! Divinity! Wiggle! 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 Wiggle!
Oh! What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
I mean, I am here on Lady Catherine, Viola, but here I am, alone. So, we were told you were away.
I am sorry to disappoint you.
This is your home. It is big.
Thank you. Miss Bennet, I do not mean to disturb you.
No, I am disturbed. I mean, I'm not disturbed. This is a nice garden.
I come here when I need to reflect,
No?
to reconsider. Miss Bennet, I've been rethinking, regretting some expressions.
Lizzie!
What is
Fitzwilliam!
A dreadful letter from your father, cuz. Delivered this moment by messenger.
I told him not to open it.
It is a family matter, my dear. Family tragedy. Your sister, Miss Lydia, she was, she has.
For heaven's sake, Collins! Is she deceased?
She has run away with the Mr. Wickham.
Lydia has a note with Mr. Wickham.
Not Harry, run away.
Better that she had died.
Lizzie, we must get you home. I did.
I have not finished the tour.
She's only 14.
I'm sorry, Collins, for your cousin. That whole branch of your family is ruined. Ruined? 4 daughters and 1 fallen. Nobody shall ever have them now. no trace of them.
Oh, it's Mama. She must be very bad.
This is not Mama, Lizzie. It is.
You're bad.
She locked me in a closet. Lydia, she ran off with Wickham.
I was in there for at least an hour, but
I am recovering nicely. What, Jane? I'm not sad Lydia's gone. She's always running off and leaving me behind. Like you two. Like everyone.
I'm never wanted in your games, am I?
Besides, we can draw from this a useful lesson about perfection.
Affection.
Purity. Flawlessness. An ideal we must fulfill. For one false step condemns a person. A female person to ruin. One slip pollutes her forever. We also learn from poor, stupid Lydia that the lost virtue is irretrievable, and that reputation is no less beautiful than it is brittle, and that a lady can never be too irreproachable in her behavior. No. Perfection.
Lizzie, the coach, I must.
Papa, shall I fix you some tea? Or perhaps something to eat?
You know I can't stomach it.
Papa, forgive me.
For what?
I was given some private intelligence about Wickham's proclivities. I should have written to you, but I didn't want to give the source any credit. Papa, this is all my fault.
No. For years of some disappointment, I removed myself from the affairs of this family. Is it any wonder with a father so absent and a mother so focused on conquest that a silly child would become his prey?
I spoke so inconsiderately in front of Lydia, called them a game, deemed marriage an irreparable mistake, filled her head with nonsense.
And who taught you to only think worse than these attachments? It's my fault, my poor girls. And now, we're all ruined.
Oh, calm your nerves and steel them, Mr. Bennett.
Mama, you look so well.
Oh, don't believe you know everything about me, Elizabeth. Now is the time for strength, isn't it, dear? Perhaps attachment isn't always so foolish, yes? Lydia, my child! Oh, where have you been, dear?
You locked me in a closet!
Mary! Welcome! Isn't this a fine homecoming? You ought to be more civil considering the prize I have won. Come
Elizabeth, fetching my pistol!
Mr. Bennett! No! Not a duel! You shall die, and then where shall we be?
I should hope my husband is welcome here.
Your husband! Husband!
I told you I want to cry, didn't I?
Oh, Lydia! Oh, Lydia! Oh, this is why you're my favorite! Married at 14! Oh, give me a kiss! Mwah! Oh, and you too, you who slide on Wickham, you cunt! Mwah!
Is it a big joke, Mama?
Mrs. Lydia Wickham! Oh, you shall need visiting cards. And
Mrs. Bennett! Sirs, shall we discuss this privately? It is delightful to see you all.
Now I suppose you will insist on examining the ring and fluttering over me as single women do. Won't you fetch some tea, Jane?
No, she will not.
As she should. I am before her in precedent now, before all of you.
I am frantic, my dear, for all the details. Now that your father has decided against dueling your darling Wickham.
Unless Papa plans to shoot him in the privacy of his study.
Papa won't harm him, but then they shall have me on their hands again, and they are the best hostess as it is. You have really married him, Lydia. Poor Janie Jane. I should hope someday you'll have as good as luck. That's me.
Lydia, what were you thinking? To expose his family to such...
You locked me in a closet!
Sorry.
Just goose!
Bless you.
How could you behave in such a manner?
I listen. You know, and I have learned many lessons. You never act on your impulses and always try to be perfect, and then you lost Mr. Big One. Did you get what you wanted?
Lydia!
Your friend Charlotte married only for serious considerations. Did she get what she wanted? You said it was all just a game, so why shouldn't I have any fun? I have just as good a chance as any of you for being happy.
Listen, Wickham, the man who stole you from your family without the slightest intention of marrying you.
I knew Wickham would marry eventually, and once Darcy found us, we were at the church the next day.
Mr. Darcy,
Oh, I promised I wouldn't tell.
What did Mr. Darcy have to do with it?
He tracked us down at an inn in London, and Darcy and Wickham talked in private, but I listened at the last, as I do. And Darcy told Wickham if he married me, which he would have to at any rate, he would pay off all of his debts and give him anonymity to keep us out of trouble.
so you're saying someone had to be paid to marry you?
No.
Yes,
No, who asked you? All of you, with your grey faces. How do any of you know how to make a match? I thought you would be happy. I have won the game. I have married as I ought. Then soon I will make you all lovely maiden aunts. I thought that's what you wanted.
Oh, calm, my girls.
You're just
No one has
jealous.
been shot.
Where are we going?
I've consented to the match, but he is not welcomed at this house. I have other daughters to think of.
But this is my home.
Was your home.
I want to stay here.
We don't always get what we want. Sometimes we must settle for what is open and available. Isn't that right, Lizzie?
But I thought you would be pleased.
And we are, dear.
Jane, Lizzie, promise me you'll visit soon. Mary?
You locked me in a closet!
You can visit us, dearest, whenever you like.
If I can find the time, married women, you know, are very busy and important. Do wish me joy.
Well, that is a fine fellow as ever I saw.
Yes.
As a smart makes love to us all.
Yes, sir. So charming, isn't he?
I must lie down.
And so handsome, Mr. Bennett.
Mrs. Bennett,
Yes.
please. My nerves.
Mr. Bennett, please.
Lizzie, why would Mr. Darcy intervene? It must be a credit to you.
No, Jane, Darcy was the person who revealed Wickham's character to me. I'm sure he felt a responsibility for not being more open about Wickham's history.
Do so much for honor's sake.
Darcy, we must concede, is a most honourable man. Jane, I've acted in a detestable manner. Who am I to reproach Lydia for foolishness? Darcy was right. He hurt my pride over and over again, and so I indulged in my own cleverness in service of my prejudice, abusing him openly, even to Wickham, the lowest of men. I who boasted of my discernment. Till this moment, I have never known myself. I feel so
Blind? What will you do?
there is nothing to do. If I were to see Darcy again, I would apologize for being so
Lying.
yes. I will never see him again. So,
I know something of that.
Two suitable matches lost.
Two imperfect old names. It isn't so bad, is it? We'll see.
Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Miss Bennett. Is this the fallen sister? No, too old.
Jane, Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
I will speak to Miss Elizabeth Bennett alone. Go, sister. Go, go, go. Miss Bennet, why am I here?
What?
I am here because a scandalous falsehood has recently been brought to my attention. You know what matter I am speaking of. I do not play games, Miss Bennet. I know that you've been spreading nonsense about certain interactions with my nephew.
Do you mean his proposal?
Uh-huh. Exposed. This is the fiction of which I speak.
Lady Catherine.
Fitzwilliam could not possibly have made an offer to you, Miss Bennet. The Darcy is already engaged to my daughter.
Then such an offer is indeed impossible.
Precisely. Now, promise me that you never shall indulge any inappropriate feelings for my nephew.
You have no right to concern yourself with my affairs.
So you would burden Fitzwilliam with your sordid family history.
I must ask you to leave.
You must know that any connection you may have with Darcy would absolutely disgrace him. That such a ridiculous mismatch would only bring him shame and misery. Do you wish to make him the laughing stock of the world?
Madame, Lady Catherine de Bourgh.
Oh, my lady! It is an honor, Mom.
Mrs. Bennet, I should like a tour of your park.
My park, Mom.
Your shrubbery, then. I will give Miss Elizabeth Bennet time for reflection, and you and I shall discuss matters privately. Come, come, come.
Yes, Mom.
Lizzie, what's happening?
Lady Catherine is here to arrange matters above my head. Mamma will have some shocking news.
What do you mean?
Oh my God! Mary, please stop doing that! Doing what?
Oh, what is happening?
Oh, Mary, go and tell whomever it is that we have had quite enough excitement for today.
Jane? I never thought I would say it, but my nerves are going to snap.
Jane, it is for you.
This cannot be for me. Oh, but it is. It is for you, isn't it? All for everyone else. Because for always, for everyone, forever, everybody plays for me. Mr. Darcy, I beg your pardon, but you cannot possibly be calling on me.
I'm sir.
Mr. Bingley!
Bingley?
Jane, say something.
Bingley? Speak.
Who wants to go for a walk? So, Lizzie, you can't always be wordless, not always faultless. Come, son. Come.
No, you need to leave. You are going to be the laughing stock of the world, so
I beg your pardon.
if your aunt was to discover you,
My
I
aunt?
cannot. She came here to make a promise.
My
and she
aunt
told
is
me that,
here.
and you really seem too impossible.
What kind of promise?
I do not understand you. I must thank you for bringing me.
It was the right thing to do.
You do seem to do the right thing often. And I must also thank you for your actions with Lydia.
It was also the right thing to do. It was my fault.
No, it was my fault.
No, it was my
No,
fault.
it is mine.
No, it was.
Will you not argue with me for once? It was my fault. It wasn't mine. Do these perfectly honorable deeds, sir. Say these beautiful things despite not being good at talking at all, really. cannot think around you, and I cannot see straight. And, no, I meant to be serious. I mean to apologize. I am sorry for some, most, not all, but many things. And I do not want you to be ruined, and I don't want you to be the laughing stock of the world, so will you just leave? Now, please.
What kind of promise did my aunt try to extract from me?
She made me promise to never engage in inappropriate feelings towards you.
You must have found that easy enough, didn't you? Didn't you?
What does it matter? You are engaged to your cousin?
Mr. Bennett! Oh, Mr. Bennett! Wake up! The game is afoot! Mr. Darcy, have you come to fetch your aunt, sir?
Why?
Fitzwilliam!
Aunt Catherine!
Mamma?
Jane!
Mr. Bingley!
Mamma! Mary!
Mr. Bennett!
What is all this racket?
Mr. Bennett, Mr. Bingley is here, but Lady Catherine de Bourgh is here because...
Sir, I have reason to believe that your daughter,
Jane.
Elizabeth,
Lizzie.
Jane, is trying to ensnare my nephew,
Bingley.
Fitzwilliam.
Darcy.
No, not again. Your Elizabeth is trying to catch my Darcy, and I am here to put a stop to it. This is a serious matter.
I told her, Mr. Bennett, I told her ladyship that it is without thought. For she assures me that Mr. Darcy is engaged to her daughter, Miss de Bourgh, and has been since they were but babes.
No!
Fitzwilliam,
Aunt Catherine.
it is a de facto engagement.
Aunt Catherine.
You have been intended for each other since infancy.
So you are not engaged?
But it is a perfect match.
Even that is irrelevant. My lady, for Elizabeth has always been open about her hatred for Mr. Darcy in all extremity. Always has and always will. Isn't that right, Lizzie? Lizzie? Isn't it?
I find that I may have spoken a lot of nonsense, Mama. I do not hate him.
I shall not stand by and
Peace, Lady Catherine. But there's hope. Miss Darcy, I thought you never looked at a woman but to see a flaw. And still, my good sir, you shall be disappointed. For my Lizzie is firmly resolved against marriage altogether, aren't you? Never sent a note from the bell tolls, Elizabeth.
My favorite. 10,000 a year. This
Why
is
don't
not
you never
getting
be on these games again? Sir! If you can secure my daughter's consent, you have mine. As for the rest of you, go! Go, 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 go!
My lady. My lady. Oh, we have much to discuss, Mom. Please have me. Don't! My lady. My friend, call you sister. Sister King.
Oh, Mary. Now, Mary, when is your gentleman to come in?
Also mortifying.
Your family is...
So is yours.
My sister's lovely.
So is mine. One of mine.
And my father's the best of men.
So is mine. And my mother has her virtues. Though I cannot believe I'm saying it.
Your cousin is intolerable.
So is yours.
Yes. Yes, she is. So you do not hate me then?
Rather the opposite? No! No! Oh, no! No! a game. Just serious. But it is not just serious, but it is nonsense. But it isn't.
Then let us make it a dance. Elizabeth. Lizzie. William.
To know ourselves so little, to reverse ourselves so entirely. Do you want to be the laughing stock of the world?
Let them laugh.